Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's community and developer meeting. I see already a couple of folks have joined. That's great. Today is April 1st. No jokes beside the shirt jokes that I already made before the recording. I think no other jokes, maybe we'll hear a joke or a prank later on. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining. Let's jump directly into the agenda for today. And by the way, please also add your name when you're joining this meeting. So agenda items, we still keep track a little bit of the spell check. I got rid of the line for the Keptn tutorials because I just opened an issue in the Keptn tutorials and we will track it there. If we also open an issue on the Keptn docs, we can also track it there and we don't have to carry it with the other items here. One part I want to highlight is we just released a new blog article this week together with our friends from Litmus Chaos. We have written a blog on how to evaluate application resilience with Keptn quality gates, and the chaos is introduced, which is kind of the basis why we want to evaluate the resilience. The chaos is introduced with Litmus Chaos. You might know we also have an integration with this project. If you're interested, there's a link here. Feel free to share it. And we also have the tutorial, probably that was already announced last week, but you will also find a link to the tutorial here. Otherwise, I will just also link the tutorial here so you can give it a try yourself if you want, and you can do this yourself. With that, let me just have a look who is joining as well. So we have Himad joining, and he is one of our mentees in this period of the LFX mentorships. Thanks for joining, and we know that you have something you also want to share. You're working currently on your project. You're right in the middle of the project, and it's about enhancing the Keptn CLI to also allow it to generate the stub or the skeleton for a new Keptn service. So with that, I'm just asking if there are any other questions to the things I just announced and I just said, then we can take it here.
So hey, am I audible?
Then I'm handing over, and I allow you also for the screen share. Here you go.
Yes. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So I'll just quickly share my screen. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible. Oh. Yeah, so I have been working on the LFX mentorship project, and this is the issue that it was based on. Basically, my project deals with creating a service template for Keptn right from your Keptn CLI. So there are some definitions, tasks that I've done have reached around until this checkbox, just the integration test and the other things are left. I'll also quickly demonstrate of what I've built. And there were some meetings, weekly meetings, and there were some discussions. And I have detailed documented them on a draft work in progress PR. Where under the research phase, I have documented what were the hurdles and what were the solutions that we took and why did we take them and why we found it better. So you can go through and leave any comments or suggestions if you'd like to make it better and more efficient. So like this is the issue states that we basically need to just create a service template by taking in these three parameters, basically the service name that the developer wants to generate the service of, the Docker image name that it will be pulled from the Docker Hub or any other Docker repository, and the list of cloud events like Keptn cloud events that the service wishes to listen to. So we could know that we have a template repository, which is just under the Keptn Sandbox GitHub organization. Users or developers could basically clone this, follow the README, follow through all these steps, and they would be able to like create the service, but we are automating the whole process. That's the whole project about. So basically, there won't be needs of any more steps. You can directly do all this. It all will be automated directly from the Keptn CLI. So that is a gist. And I'll just quickly get into demonstration of how it's going to work. So let's start afresh. And I'm just going to create a new test folder. And I'm going to go inside the test folder. And the test folder is empty, of course. So I'm going to run the Keptn CLI. This is a local build, which I built from my branch of which I'm working on. So I'm going to say Keptn generate Keptn service. And this has auto completion enabled. So I'm just pressing my tab to quickly auto complete. So in this, you can pass three parameters as the issue mentions. If I hit tab once, tab twice, it's going to tell me what are the parameters I can pass. So again, let's come on to the image name. Like it says that I need to pass an image. So let's say that when they're not ready, that's my GitHub handle. And let's say I'm pulling a service name, simple service. And the second parameter is or argument is the service name itself. And let's say I want to name the service random service. Note that the Docker image is named simple service, but I can name any other service locally, whatever I want. So I'm going to name it random service. And I can pass a comma separated list of Keptn cloud events that what I want to listen to. So in this case, like you can visit the documentation. Okay. Yeah, here it is. You can visit the documentation, and these are some example events that your service can listen to. So I'm just going to copy one of these, and I'm simply going to paste them. And once I press enter, right now it shows work in progress, and I am hit. So there's no detailed logging. I will add detailed logging as the work proceeds. So now a folder named random service is generated, right? So if I just cd into this random service folder and I list what is all in it, so basically it's the template uh, service that is being like generated, but it does not hold any placeholders because I'll just show you in this. Let's say I want to visit the scaffold, so it has the image of whatever I had given in the arguments. So this is not a template service anymore. This is a proper full-fledged generated service. It's not a placeholder anymore. So whatever the README suggests of wherever, let's take example of service.yaml that is present in the deployed folder. So as you can see here also, there's a comment that it needs to be replaced with my image name, but it's already replaced. So the CLI has automated all this process. So that is about it. That is how far we have come. So right now, what I'm working on is that to version check basically. So for example, I'm running a Keptn CLI version of 0.8.0. But if you go to our templates, service template repository, and if you look for tags, it's all basically named suffixed with an hyphen alpha, right? So I'm working on a system that automatically like detects your Keptn CLI version, and it like pulls the closest tag, closest release as possible, so that it does not always pull the master branch. So I'm working on those case scenarios. For example, say we release a patch fix like 0.8.2 on our Keptn CLI, but we do not have 0.8.2 in our service template because we do not want to add another process in our Keptn CLI release, right? So it could automatically smartly detect that, okay, it's 0.8, so it could pick up 0.8.0 or whatever is present, the closest version that's present in the Keptn service template, and it will of course prompt the user that's downloading this version. So right now, the only work left mostly is the integration testing. That is the production of the Docker YAML and all the testing that needs to be done. If the service is good to go, is it working fine? And once it is done, it's good to go. So for example, like the cloning of the whole repository. So this repository was cloned basically to the user's local desktop, and this was achieved using this library, a third-party library named GoGet. It's an open source library. So we first thought because downloading the tar file and unpacking it would be tedious and would have chances to break. So we found out this solution and we had discussed over it, and I've documented it in my draft PR of why we decided to go with Google. So if there's any suggestions, you can go through the code. I have been like adding comments. So if there's any suggestions, feel free to leave a comment or a review. I'll look into it. So that is how it. That's almost it. That's about it regarding the CLI enhancements for now. Like if you have any questions, please feel free to drop it in the chat. Be happy to answer.
Thanks for presenting. Has anyone already have some experience with this the Go library that Nimat is using here?
Seems to be new for everyone.
Okay, yeah, but I think it's a great idea to use this, and really great progress you have made so far. Thanks for sharing. Really looking forward. Also great to see that the auto completion and is working, how everything now comes together. Really cool. So while Raj is joining as well, I just want to highlight two things that I just added to the meeting document. Let me share again. That's just that actually we have two new tutorials added. One was just merged a couple of minutes ago. It's around Argo rollouts and doing Canary releases with Keptn and Argo rollouts. So basically Keptn is orchestrating the rollout process and having the quality gate in between for each phase of the Canary rollouts. When you think of this, first doing 25% of the rollout, at 50%, 75%, and in between there's always a Keptn quality gate. This was contributed by Andy. I think he's not joining today, but thanks for contributing this. And the other one I mentioned earlier is around using Litmus chaos experiments and evaluation with Keptn. So with this, I think, yeah, I can see Raj here. So I'm handing over, and I will ask you to also share your project.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Raj, and I am a contributor to Litmus Kiosk project also. And so I am also contributing to Keptn as part of this LFX mentorship. So I have. Let me share my screen first. Okay, so the primary task is that the currently Prometheus service is installing Prometheus and Alert Manager from the pod, and the plan is to install Prometheus externally, and Prometheus service can help to configure all the script jobs and Alert Manager configs using the Keptn CLI tool. So what I did is I move out all the Prometheus related and Alert Manager related code outside of the Prometheus service. Now you can install Prometheus externally and configure Prometheus within Keptn. So I'll just go through a tutorial, which is the Sockshop one. So I'll just follow this Sockshop one. Sockshop. So the main step is the 13th step. So which will going to change. So I'll follow till 12th step, and I'll show you how the new Prometheus monitoring setup can be done. So I have to configure the Sockshop one. So here's my cluster. This is a simple GKE cluster. My STO and everything is running here. Hopefully my screen is visible, right? Okay. So I'll just onboard the Sockshop one. So I already have to install Sockshop using Keptn CLI. So I'll just create the shipyard file. Okay, I think shipyard is already there. Okay, I already installed the shipyard file. So I'll move to the next step. That is a configuration bridge. Okay, this is my bridge credential. 1 second. Okay. So this is the sock shop, and it has 3 stages. So what I'll do, I'll go ahead and create the services. So I'll have to create the cart service. So the same procedure I will follow. Service was successfully. Okay, it is already there. Services, I guess. Okay, yeah, already there. So these are some of the tests, like what to call it, JMeter tests. To these are the functional tests. I think I already performed. I think it is added. Okay, and this is for the staging. And so I'll go ahead and onboard this DB service. I think already it is already there. I guess, yeah, already there. And I'll move forward, and I can skip this step if you want. I can directly go. These are triggering.
It's already done once,
Yeah.
but you can still do it another time. That's no problem.
Yeah. So these are just the like procedure I am following, as you already know. Yeah. So I'll just quickly go to the next, and if I see my, okay, yeah, this is that staging one, and this is the dev one. Okay, development one is not up. I think the IP has been changed or something. Let me check. I think, let's see the status of the application, I guess.
It should be up. We can take a look in the bridge.
It is running. Bridge.
Here started this one. When you click on fuse sequence, but actually it says get SLI is finished. So the very last one that should, or the first one. Sorry, the top one.
I think this.
Okay, so it says here is the icon with an arrow in it in the deployment tile. It's on the right hand side. There is an icon. Yeah, this one.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah,
is.
it worked.
IP or something has been changed, and if I check the staging one, I think the same problem.
Yeah, no worries. We can wait for it in the background to finish. We can take a look on how you add the Prometheus, and it will fit. It should finish in the background.
Yeah. So these are the, like, and this load gen will generate some traffic on 3 stages. So that, and these are the general procedure. So the main thing is here. So how we'll configure external Prometheus and how we can set up it. So the steps are just a few changes. So you have to first install Prometheus before the Prometheus service, Keptn Prometheus service. So what I'll do, I'll install Prometheus in my Prometheus namespace. I think I don't have any namespace. Okay, kubectl create namespace monitoring is created, and I'll just go and install Prometheus. So this chart will install some other things like push gateway, node exporter, which is not required. We only need the Prometheus server and the let manager, but it is okay. It's an actual use case where user can have multiple things, but they can easily configure Keptn with the existing Prometheus. So if you see, so these are a few things which is not required. We only require the server and the alert manager for Keptn. So it is now creating. Make it created, and the second thing is the config map, which is required to configure alert manager and a Prometheus server. So there are two main config map. One is the server config map. Another one is the alert manager config map. So server config map have all the scrap job details for the Prometheus, and alert manager, like it will have all the alert rules and all. And there will be one more config which will create. That is the template one. How the template alert template will look like. So it will created by the Keptn Prometheus service once we configure it. So the thing is, we have to configure a Prometheus service. So how we can configure the Prometheus service? So currently it is not being released. So these are the local changes you have to do. So there are some envs you have to configure during installation of Prometheus service. So these are the envs. So these envs will take few information like where is your Prometheus install, where is the installation of alert manager, and labels, config map name, and all. So I'll just configure a few things. So my Prometheus namespace is monitoring, and I have to change the config map name. So my config map name is sorry, okay, so it will get config map monitoring. So my Prometheus config map name is this one, server one. I will just change it. It's 490, and also the alert manager. Uh, so labels are same. There is no change in the labels, and the alert manager namespace is correct. So this changes is in the PR. So it is not merged yet. So I have built a local Docker image of Keptn Prometheus service, and I just replace the Prometheus service here. So sorry, image of the Prometheus service here. So this is my local image. So I'll install the deployment using this manifest. So it has some CRDs and some service, only one service, sorry. So I'll just go ahead and install this Keptn Prometheus service. Okay. Okay, this is not here. This is the repo. So I'll just apply. And if you can see my Keptn namespace, yeah, Prometheus service has been installed. So 10 seconds ago. So I think Prometheus is installed, Prometheus service is installed. So to configure Prometheus service, there's one single step I'll show you, but I want to show you first the Prometheus UI. So I'll just port forward. I think this is also changed, right? Second. So it is forwarded to 1990. So if I go to the targets, I can see the targets are of the node exporter and other exporters. So these are not the sock shop one. So once I configure the sock shop for Prometheus, so we can see few more targets. Right now there are almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 targets. And once I configure the sock shop one, you can see the other targets also. So I'll just go ahead and configure. kubectl pods. I think you can see, okay, you can see my Prometheus server has been restarted 20 seconds ago. So the restart is because we have patched some scrap jobs in the Prometheus server config map. Let me show you in this lens. This is a tool from Mirantis. So if you see the config map of monitoring, you can see shock shop. Yeah, these are the shock shop scrap jobs. You can see it has been patched in this config map. So once I restart my, sorry, once I rerun my port forward, so I can see the changes. So yeah, so once I refresh, you can see, yeah, so you can see the shock shop targets also. So these are the canary targets. So this is down right now. So the main thing is the development. This is the, there's one more development. I think my other things are down right now. Staging is down, I guess.
Yeah, I think it has not been promoted to the other stages. Probably the evaluation is stuck because maybe you've configured it already once with Prometheus and it's still kind of looking up the Prometheus installation. But
it is showing up.
the data is coming in.
No, it is down. It was the previous one. Just, I think, yeah, there's the production one is down. Only the development one is up. So you can see only the development one. Yeah. So this is the new announcement in the Prometheus service. Any questions?
I have one question. So can you just do another Keptn configure monitoring, or before you do it? My question is the Keptn configure monitoring command also restarting the Prometheus instance, or did the Prometheus instance restart itself? So
No. The Prometheus is there's a we are doing the restart by the Prometheus service. So Prometheus service, what Prometheus service will do, it will delete that pod, delete this alert manager pod and server pod.
Okay. Can you do a kubectl get pods -n monitoring, the one you basically execute the same command again? Yeah, so all of them are running.
Because we are taking with the labels, I think all labels are same here. That's why it is restarting all the pods. You can see if I do a kubectl show labels, you can see Prometheus. I think something is common. That's why all things are restarted.
Okay. Yeah, this is maybe something. Yeah, the other ones you also have app Prometheus.
Yeah, Prometheus. I don't know why this keep state is not showing the label. I think you can see the other. There's the same label app equals to Prometheus, and in the env also I put app equals to Prometheus.
Okay, got it. And the alert manager is somehow not coming up. Not sure if it's related to your configuration or if it was already in the beginning that it's not starting.
I think
maybe you have to investigate.
Okay. So you want to perform the Keptn configure again, or?
Yes, please just do it once again. And I was just interested in which pods are restarted and which not.
So I'll make a watch. I think watch is not installed here. kubectl pods -n monitoring -n, sorry, -w. Yeah. So it is crashing. Keptn. Yeah. the alert manager template is already exists because this will create by the Keptn service. So we have to delete this one first. So this one will be created by the Prometheus service, Keptn Prometheus service. So we have to delete this one. Yeah, I will also configure, and if you can see here, a lot of things are restarted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all of them are restarted.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I think what we have to test is how it behaves when there is a Keptn configure monitoring for another service. Right now we have only the shopping cart of SockShop, but once we have 2 or more services, how the config map is created, especially with the alert manager, that I guess there would have been kind of some editing needed, reading the config map and then writing it again, as it might be more than one service that we want to configure. Or one service at a time, but there might be more services in one project, and we will need to execute the Keptn configure monitoring
Yeah.
more than once.
So this template is common for everyone. So yeah, I think we have to.
Okay.
So I'll make this independent. So it is just appending in here. There are some rules in the alert manager. You can see it is just appending the Prometheus service here in the webhook.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Are there any more questions? If not, then let me just share again. But I guess that no one added anything more to the agenda. So I think this was it for this week's edition for the Keptn community and developer meeting. Thanks so much for your presentations. Really looking forward to see the next progress in the project. I think you're really on the right track, and we really can see that your contributions are also improving the Keptn project, which is really great. If there is nothing more, just opening up for questions here. Otherwise, we can close it a little bit earlier than usual. Thanks everyone for joining. Happy Easter, at least, yeah, not sure if everyone is celebrating, but those who are celebrating, happy Easter, and we see you all next Thursday. Thanks everyone for joining. Have a nice day.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
See you. Bye.